If I had spent more time in my 30s and 40s figuring out, really knowing and understanding myself and where I thrive and where I don't thrive, instead of trying to build a business according to the world's fucking standards, I that would have saved me so much. Hi, I'm Allison. I'm 50, and in my 30s, I had a conversation with a business mentor, and she intuited some things about me that were pretty true. And one of them was that I didn't have the capacity yet to hold the dreams that I was wanting to create. There's two layers to that I think are important to the conversation. One is the layer of the capacity for things specifically that I needed to go through the process of healing and maturing. And I've done a lot of work to increase my capacity in those areas. But something I just realized that didn't serve me was that I put so much energy to increasing capacity in other areas that it's very possible I simply will never have that capacity. And what would have better served me was to build a business that was accessible to the way that my body, emotion, mindset, the way that I function the best. I think we often think of, we live in an ableist culture. I have ableism in my bones. And we live in this culture that thinks of accessibility as just making a ramp for a wheelchair. I was diagnosed with ADHD at 50, and a lot of my capacity issues come from that. I see the symptoms that I don't have the words for it. And over the years, even before I knew about ADD, so I didn't really have any hacks, I just kind of figured out what works for me. And honestly, I let some of my dreams go because I don't have the physical or emotional capacity to hold the mental load that my body consumes in pursuit of those goals. I don't know that I really have an answer to this, but I have a lot of clients, many of who are in their mid 40s and older. They're also sensitive. Many of them have ADHD. A lot of them are empaths. A lot of them are working through their childhood trauma as adults now. A lot of them, just like me, did not wake up the first Monday of the new year going, let's conquer our goals and scale. A lot of them woke up tired as fuck, feeling like their physical and emotional and psychological capacity is threadbare. The ableist part of our culture sees, quote, weakness as negative. There are some things that I am physically not strong in. And I've learned that some of that's probably not going to change. If we can take our strengths and maximize those and then support the other areas, I realize this may sound like common sense, but I've been swimming in, and you've been swimming in, this culture that is constantly feeding us these messages of what is expected to build a certain kind of business. And I'm a woman who doesn't fit the mold. You might be a person who doesn't fit the mold. And maybe if you're like me, the hardest part of unbecoming who I was before the ADHD diagnosis was the mental gymnastics to make myself fit by masking in the world. And for the last 7 years, I've been really focusing on not more is better, but sustainable and simple. And actually, y'all, sustainable and simple has created more. And now I get to add a whole new layer of really figuring out what accessibility for me and my business and my team and my clients and my offerings in the world looks like. And when I consider that, and I consider complete acceptance of the quirks and the ways of being that are different from the world's standards, I start feeling hope instead of tired.